All right, are we live? I think so. Um, I'm gonna put the StreamYard link in the chat. Do I remember how to do this? It's been 10 days since the Shadowbammed. That is trifling. Let's see. All right. Let's throw it on Twitter. I gotta unfollow some people on Twitter, yo. Oh God. Okay. All right. Wait a minute. Hope everybody's doing well. February 16th. Hope everybody had a good Valentine's Day. If you didn't, it's really not that serious because what was I going to say? Okay. Somebody's in here. But yeah. I'm going to wait about another minute before we get into it. Because you got to see if anybody's going to join. But if nobody joins, it's all good. Or nobody else joins. But yeah, hopefully everybody had a good Valentine's Day. You know what I mean? That was Wednesday? Today being Friday. Bad lefty. Oh my goodness. If by good you mean slept right through it, then not bad. How's Bam? I don't know how you sleep through a whole day. But if you did, that's really cool. I'm good. I'm chilling. We're going to talk about some stuff this morning. Excuse me. Well, it's not the morning for you, Bad Lefty. It is damn near like it is the evening for you, Bad Lefty. Bad Lefty tuning in from Ireland. I've never really wanted to travel to Ireland for real. But because I don't know, I am an Irish nationalist, but maybe I gotta go now. Maybe I gotta go. And those flights to Dublin are cheap too. They are hella cheap actually. But yeah, I guess I should go ahead and start because if I start talking about Ireland, I will not stop. But let me see real fast. Flight LAX to Dublin. I feel like those are cheap now. What? Do I got it on business class or something? Shoot. What? This is the same as flights to Portugal. Oh, well, damn. The flights to Ireland are just as much as the flights to Portugal, pretty much. Anyway, guys, let me just go ahead and start. It is Black History Month. I know everybody forgot or you didn't care, and it's fine, It is fine. People need reminders of things. We got a lot going on in the world. Obviously there's a genocide being taken place, being taken place in Palestine, in Gaza. Um, there's a war in Ukraine. You know, Alexei Navalny just died. Oh my God. There's a lot, you know. But I think that you can't let people forget about us. You know what I mean? There's something I'm going to say this first before I get into what I really want to talk about. Um, I am not an MLS watcher. I'm not. I try to say I'm going to watch a match or two. When I don't do that, what the hell's up with Twitter, dude? Damn, it's always being so annoying. When I don't, I try and say I'm going to watch some highlights of matches. I don't do it. But one thing I do get excited for is every season, not every year, but for the last, like, I want to say in the last like 6 years, 5 out of the last 6 years, um, MLS has done like a black panel discussion. Now, every year, me and Caesar, if we made a podcast, we've always tried to get on there because we're the longest running black soccer podcast in American history. You know, we're pioneers. Um, Obviously, they never, it never happened. But every year they do some kind of like black panel. They usually have, it's mostly former players. It's basically former players. Some of them are in, or like there'll be a couple people in media. What up, Alex? Good morning. Um, this year, so MLS Works is the thing behind the MLS Black Person panel for Black History Month. Now, this year, MLS Works, this says the social responsibility platform of MLS. That's what they are characterized as on Twitter, and it's like through them that they do this panel. So this year they haven't announced anything about a panel yet, and MLS Works themselves have not even tweeted about Black History Month. They've done a bunch of retweets. Bad Lefty, seriously. Alex, Bad Lefty, Alex. Alex is a big Real Madrid fan. Alex was just over there in Spain. I'm doxing him. And Alex is the homie. But yeah, I'm looking at the MLS Works Twitter and I'm like, damn, y'all haven't even said like one tweet about Black History Month. Y'all are just retweeting the MLS and like the MLS teams. Who the hell works there? Like, who works for MLS Works? Is it just an AI? And they haven't announced anything that I've seen about this Black History Month panel. I'm wondering if they're going to do it this year. I hope they do. If not, that'll be unfortunate. I did tweet them about getting on the panel. Obviously, it didn't get tweeted back. You know, unfortunately, the other like black soccer people, they didn't like retweet it and try to like go hard for us. But you know, that's another question. But yeah, that's one thing that we'll see what happens with that. Usually me and Caesar do a review of the panel. We've done that every year. They've done it. Like, we will review the actual panel and like what they discussed. And usually it's fine. Like, we'll have some criticisms, but it's not like the whole thing is trash. But yeah, so we got allegedly three people in here. At the very least, at the very most, we've got Alex and Bad Lefty, and I want to ask a question. We're not going to be talking about Mbappe. That shit is boring. You know, we're not going to talk about Champions League, even though Guendouzi was part of Lazio beating Bayern. They will be losing the second match, I'm sure. We're not going to talk about that. This is the Black History Month edition, and I want to talk about something. Even though it is not exclusively having to do with blackness. I want to know your guys' opinion on how we end racism. Let's just focus in America. How, and Bad Lefty, I'm sorry. Like, you know, I'm not going to have the discussion about how we end racism in Ireland, but it might be the same. Bad Lefty, is that an oversight or a deliberate decision? Because they couldn't have forgot about it, right? I mean, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, you know, maybe the ways to end racism in America is the same to end racism in Ireland. But although this is an international show, we're going to be talking about, I want to know why is my connection unstable? How is that possible? Plugged in. I want to know you guys' opinion on how we end racism. I'm not talking about in soccer, in America. Yes, starting with the easy questions. So please write it in the chat, or, you know, you could scroll up and join the StreamYard and I can bring you on stage with me. I have an opinion. I have a you know, a solution, so to speak, of what I think. You know, I don't know. Obviously, if I knew, then I would be saying it all the time. But I have an idea of what we could do to end racism. And I'm not talking about, you know, we do it and bang, racism ends. It'll be a process, obviously, because you can't just snap your fingers and racism ends. And I'm not just talking about racism between white and black. I'm talking about all the racisms. I'm talking about white on black, white on Asian, black on Hispanic, black on African immigrant, Mexican on Salvadorian, Korean against everybody. I'm talking about all the racisms. How do we end it? What do we do this month? You feel me? So I want to know what you guys think. And we'll just sit here until y'all type something. I won't have dead air though. I should have ate something first before I did this. Good gracious. I feel like, what do I have over there? But yeah, I feel like Bad Lefty have a good answer. Alex is probably like, damn, I wanted to talk about Mbappe going to Real Madrid though. But yeah, I did have this conversation with a few different people. I want to say three. One white woman, one Mexican American, and one Arab American. We did talk about it. Did we talk about did I talk about that with the Arab person? I might talk about something else. There's another one, but I don't know. Maybe if we get some good answers, we'll do that. That one's kind of funny. But yeah. Okay, we got an answer, and I'm ready to read it. Bad Lefty. Okay, for a start, give everyone a decent standard of living where people aren't blaming their neighbors or immigrants for stealing their jobs or getting all the free stuff. Okay. All right. Standard of living where the governments are not stealing all the tax money for themselves. Okay. Will a decent standard of living help and the racism. I wonder because I'm thinking about Germany in the 30s. I don't know how they were living. I don't know, but I think compared to the other parts of the world, they might have been doing all right. Um, okay, here we go. Alex, can racism really go away? There's always going to be dumb, ignorant people in the world slash USA. It can get better, obviously, but sadly, from what I've seen and experienced, I don't think it's going away. Come on, Alex. Come on, man. It's Black History Month. Alex, let me tell you something right now. The only way that, I feel you. And can racism really go away? I don't know. But we're being optimistic. We're trying to find something. What can we do? Because there were some people here in this country who were slaves. And the only way they could have made it out of that is to think, maybe one day I won't be. Maybe I don't have to be. And either they escaped or they killed the master. or they sent their baby somewhere. And now, that's not the case anymore. So we got to have optimism. Martin Luther King, they was throwing rocks at him and shooting him with fire hoses and getting German shepherds on him. They had to be optimistic. They had to feel like they were fighting for something. They couldn't just be like, you know what, we're going to be stuck in this situation. You got to be optimistic, homie. I know it's 8, 9 in the morning. You know what I mean? I know. But Alex, come on now. If I'm not mistaken, Alex, I can't remember all the way. I could be wrong. I don't want to be wrong, but I think you're Salvadorian. And they had a whole war, and the war is over. Now you got a Palestinian dude throwing hella people in jail. But the war's over. Now it's a war on 18th Street. Okay, but Bad Lefty. Going back to your answer. I love how you spelled neighbors. I'm not opposed to that answer. Okay, let's see what Alex just said. Compared to other countries, how do you think America fares with racism? See, Alex, come on, man. You're asking me questions. I need your answer about how do we end racism? Compared to other countries, how do you think America fares with racism? Is it better than most countries or worse? I mean, it's hard to say most countries because, good gracious, we got a lot of countries, homie. There's a lot. But let's just stick with okay, I'll answer the question based on countries with similar history. So we got the whole Western Hemisphere and Australia, and I guess South Africa, kind of. I think that compared to other countries in the Western Hemisphere, let's look at Brazil. Is America more or less racist than Brazil? I think, in some ways, I think it's I think, honestly, I'm gonna say it's less racist than Brazil. Why? Because in Brazil, there's hella people that are look like they're in the Alex, there's hella people in Brazil that have your complexion. And then you have people that are that are white skinned, and then you have people that look like me. The people that look like me in Brazil, it's hard to imagine those people reaching high levels in society. It's hard to imagine that. The black people in Brazil, when you look at Brazil's Congress and shit, that shit is white as hell. Now you look at ours, it's pretty white too. But then you look at the local politicians and stuff like that. It's pretty diverse. But at the same time, I think that we have we might have like a different kind of racism, like on a social level, but I don't know. Like, are like the like are like in Mexico, like is it gonna be like really hard for indigenous people in Mexico? Okay, here we go. Bad lefties back. Sadly, I'm seeing racism rising here in Ireland. Down in Dublin or Cork, there where they are complaining about immigrants now, but even against white as fuck Ukrainians. Nobody like no Ukrainians. No, I'm joking. Okay. But guys, we need answers to how we end racism though. Y'all are smart. Y'all are smarter than me. You know what I mean? What's your idea? Like, like if you think about it, like, okay, like what can we do to like help end racism? I'm not talking about like snap your finger end racism, but like what can we do to help end it? Bad Lefty said a better standard of living. We need like less government corruption and like more like kind of like social welfare from our governments, or let's just say in America, our government. Um, I noticed that Bad Lefty said down in Dublin. So, Bad Lefty, are you north of Dublin? Hmm. Are you north of it? If Bad Lefty, if you're in Northern Ireland, we're beefing. If you're actually from the UK, we got beef. No, I'm joking. Uh, but okay, like Alex, come on, let me get like one answer, like one solid one, and then I will say my answer. Because Alex, you're smart, yo. You know what I mean? You're smarter than me. It is all Ireland. I feel you. You know what I'm saying? Freedom. Northwest. Okay. Northwest Ireland. That's dope. I love to see somebody say down in Cork. I love that. Okay, I don't know what that says, but I know you're. Oh, okay. Yeah, delete it. You don't want to get docs. It's funny because I just started looking at Ireland on the map, and that's the city I saw first. I was like, damn, what the hell's that name? That's a dope name for a city, though. Um, okay, you know what? Alex said, "Fuck you, Bam. I can't solve racism. What the hell you think? I just went to Spain. I'm out here chilling. I went to the Bernabeu. I ain't trying to solve racism. This is what I think we can do to end racism, to help end racism. This is what I think. And do I think I'm right? I don't know. It's just my idea. It's just my idea. Um, maybe I can delete it. Bad Lefty. Let me delete it. I deleted it. I'm a good mod. I think what we can do to help end racism, and once again, I don't think it's going to make racism disappear tomorrow. And obviously, like it's not just like, oh, when you do this, this ends racism. I'm not saying that, but I think interracial relationships. That's what I think. I think that people got to know each other. People got to be less segregated. They got to mix up. You know what I mean? I'm all for people doing whatever they want, but if you're gonna help end racism, I think you gotta mix up. I'm talking about America. In America, like we have hella like there's hella racism, but I'm here in Southern California and I've had like my own interesting life. You know what I'm saying? I felt more like personal racism from fobs than I have from like white people. Like I'm aware, like for me, like fob is more racist than like I'm gonna think a fob of being more racist than like a white person. And that, they just came here, they heard that black people are terrible, and or maybe they didn't just come here, they've been here for a minute. But like when I was like in the Muslim community, like the Arabs and the Desi people, they're hella racist. um we'll have to get you a fine wee Irish Colleen. Bad lefty. Oh my god! I just remember this when I was on the plane back from Saudi Arabia. I think I was actually leaving. Was I leaving Jeddah or yes? I was leaving from Jeddah. Oh, Alex, I'm at work. My bad about the late responses. Sure, Alex. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Um, yeah, bad lefty. I was on a plane back from Jeddah in Saudi Arabia, and I'm like way in the back, and there's like hella there was hella I think they were Indonesians. I think they were Indonesian. Um but were they? Because why the hell would they be coming back to? Because we had a direct flight. Um anyway, there were people coming back from Saudi Arabia, and they were being ratchet on the plane, and they took their shoes off, and their feet stank, and all kinds of shit. And we had, and there was these two Irish uh, flight attendants back there, and they were so mad about these people smelling bad, and they were like talking shit, and I was back there dying. Like I could hear them, but like the other people couldn't hear them. And oh my god, they're like just like the accent was so strong. Like when they were talking to each other, when they would talk to the people, they would kind of like talk different, but they were talking to each other. They were going hard. Oh my god, it was the funniest thing ever. I can't really remember everything they were saying, but that shit was great. um, but yeah, Alex, if you do have a answer, just let me know. But going back to racism, I think interracial relationships because um a family, like let's say your family is Korean. Like let's say you're Korean and your parents are fobs and they're saying you better marry a Korean person. Don't bring no non-Korean in here. They're saying all the racial slurs for everybody. Don't bring no this, that. They're talking about the other Asians. They're talking about whitey. They're talking about blackie. They're talking about everybody. Don't bring them in here. Um, Bad Lefty, did you have a no? Well, Bad Lefty, I did see your response, but you didn't actually have. You said, "Can racism go away?" And I'm trying to get your actual joint. You know what I'm saying? And then you're asking how bad is racism in America? You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to know how you think racism can go away. You know, but you're busy, so it's okay. What was I saying? Oh, if you're so let's say you're some Korean person. How do you get your parents out of this mentality? You can't tell them shit. You can't be like, mom, dad, like, you got to stop. Like, you got to stop being like this. You can't tell them that. My mom was like that. I couldn't tell her a goddamn thing. But if you're this Korean person, maybe you just got to be like, I'm not obviously you can't force it, but you got to be open. Let's say you fall in love with Bad Lefty, you know? Oh, oh, okay. Alex, I didn't see that. How did I miss that? Um, like, is StreamYard not showing me all the chats? You know what? Maybe I should just have it on my phone too, because that's weird. Because I don't have that in my I don't have it on here. Let's see. That's annoying. I'm gonna see if it's in YouTube. Okay, Bad Lefty didn't see that either. Um, I'm scrolling. Nah, yeah, I didn't get that in the chat. Maybe you got yeah, maybe the censors, maybe the censors got it. They're like, don't be talking about my boy, my Palestinian president. You see, Alex, yep, you got Shadowbammed. See what happens? You start playing with me, you know. But yeah, exactly, Bad Lefty. So yeah, if you bring Bad Lefty home and you're like, look, mom, dad, this is my partner, Bad Lefty. Bad Lefty's from Ireland, and Bad Lefty is someone I love. Either you're gonna have to be like disowning me, or you're gonna have to accept it. And then Bad Lefty's a good person. When Bad Lefty comes around, they're like, damn, we kind of like Bad Lefty on the low. You know? Bad Lefty's funny. Bad Lefty's got great jokes. Bad Lefty tells us about being living north of Cork. And we're like, oh wow. And then Bad Lefty tells us about things, and it's kind of similar to what we experienced when we were in Korea, you know? And then people just get to know each other. Most people are not that different, you know? There's plenty of white black couples in America, you know? So like that's kind of whatever. Like you're already American, like stop it. Y'all just gotta relax. One of the good ones. Um, but yeah, I just feel like people gotta have more interactions with each other. People gotta be more integrated. So they cannot hate each other and not just be able to assume things about each other and be like, well, I don't know, like they're over there. You know, apartheid in South Africa was not just the laws. It was also a separation. The laws were terrible alone, but like a lot of the white people who were like, you know, living fat off the land, they didn't even know about like these townships and stuff. They didn't even know like how people were living over there. And it wasn't like that far away. I'm pointing. You know, they probably didn't care. But maybe there would have been like some 15-year-old that seen like had to see it and be like, damn, they're living like that over here? Holy shit. My parents ain't shit. And maybe they want to like go to school with something. They're like, look, dude, like I want to know what's up with these people. Yeah, it's bad. It's probably bad. I'm sure that was happening to some extent. I don't know, but I don't know. That's my solution. Solution in quotes. I want to say, you know, it's a conversation I want to have. I'm going to post it on Instagram, see what people have to say. Um, Bad Lefty. People are people are people. Yes, we all love our kids and get mad as fuck if you talk shit about our mums. Yeah, yeah. Some parents don't love their kids though. Let's be real. Um, but yeah, it's just. I feel like racism. Yeah, like I understand kind of how Alex put it. Oh well, actually, let's deal with what Alex had to say about locking the racists up. Lock up all the racists in prison. You know, Alex, that's funny because there's somebody you know somebody that's racist that you don't want to lock up. We all know a racist person that's like in our family or something that we're just like giving them a pass, basically. And it is what it is. But that's what we're trying to work on. We're trying to like do something about that because we don't want to be living like that forever. Now, my idea doesn't happen overnight. Once again, it'll take some generations, obviously, but like it's crucial. There's a lot of talk in Brazil because Brazil is a really like mestizo country. Like, oh, there's no racism in Brazil, or like, oh, racism is different here. Like, it's not really like America. And it's cap. Um, Brazil has hella. I remember Caesar's mom tried to tell me there's no racism in Brazil. I'm like, Jesus Christ, lady, who you think I'm dumb? Um, I even think about it myself. Like, if I was to travel to Latin America, like, I'm a dark skinned black person, but I'm American. And I'm kind of bougie, if you don't know. So, like, if I was to go to Ecuador, Peru, or Colombia, or Brazil, places, let me just say, like the countries here I'm saying South America. I said Latin America. Let me say South America. If I was to go to Colombia or Ecuador, Peru, Brazil, these countries have hella black people. Let me throw Uruguay on there too. They have a lot of black people there. But I have to assume like the black people, like the dark skinned black people, are probably the poorest ones. Probably. I don't know necessarily, but like probably, that's how it goes generally. Like when I talk to Caesar, like talk to other people about like traveling to those countries, I'm like, I'm not opposed to it, but I don't know if I go in a nice restaurant there, are they going to be looking at me crazy? Like, I don't know. And I don't want to go through that because maybe in Peru, obviously they've seen black people before, but maybe in these like nice establishments, there's probably there might not ever be no black people. And they might just be like, what the hell is this fool doing here? Like, sir, are you in the right place? I don't want to get treated like that. Now, when I went to Portugal, before I went, I was concerned about that. I'm like, I know there's black people in Portugal. I know that, but I don't know how it is, you know? Let me shut up and read what Bad Lefty has to say. Bad Lefty, we got to keep trying to teach the kids better every year and let the racist ass uncles or grandmas age out, but that's long term. Well, it's going to be long term regardless. It's going to be long term regardless. But we have a lot of racism in society, and you can try to teach your kids, but like, especially now with social media, like they could learn different. I think about like raising a boy. Like, if you have to raise a boy, like with all the misogynist bullshit out here, like good luck, dude. Like, they're gonna end up in middle school and like all the kids listen to Tate. But yeah, let me go back. Before I went to Portugal, which was like what 2018, I was concerned. I'm like, damn, like I don't know. Like, I don't want to travel somewhere and be getting treated racistly. But when I got there, I was like, okay, there's hella black people here. Like, it was like not even a thing. And it was so many black people that like I would go in places and they'll speak to me in Portuguese. So like it's like, okay, cool. Like, y'all are not like over here like, oh, I never and let me just be clear. I'm saying Portugal, I went to Lisbon. Like, I was in Lisbon. Let's be clear. I wasn't like in some small towns or something like that. I remember one time I went to go see a movie in like a small theater in San Diego, like a really small indie theater. And I'm pretty sure we saw two movies actually. It was like two movies playing out back to back. It was El Cuerpo, it was a Spanish movie, and it was another movie like Seven Boxes or something like that. And it was from Paraguay. And both movies were really good. El Cuerpo was a second movie. And so like me and like one of like somebody watched and then like after the movie, oh, I think I was wearing an Uruguay shirt. Maybe no, that wasn't that time. But there was a guy who came out and he was like white as hell, but he was like obviously from somewhere. And he starts like speaking to me in Spanish. And I was like, okay, like this guy is not unaware of black people speaking Spanish wherever he's from, you know? Um, and I've met like many Mexican people who like don't think any person that's black could ever speak Spanish. And I'm like, you never heard of like Panama? It's right there. But But anyway, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this, although this is probably the longest episode of Shadowbammed ever. Um, Thank you guys for your answers. We got Alex saying, let's lock up the racists. That is a another option. I almost talked about something else, but I'm going to shut up because I'll be talking too much. And we got Bad Lefty saying we got to age him out, more interactions. You're seeing more racism in Ireland, unfortunately, but I'm not surprised. But also that we got to have a better standards of living. We need to have the governments not. What happens if you press show? What does that do? Oh, there it is. Oh shit! didn't realize that. uh, I mean, damn, we're at the end already, but you can see how little how bad I am at StreamYard. Um, let's put that your other answer on here. That's cool. Guess I know how to do that now. One day I'm gonna like mess around with StreamYard and see how to like put articles and YouTube and shit on here, but it's shadow banned. Don't nobody watching shit. Anyway, thank you, Bad Lefty. You're the homie for forever. Thank you, Alex, for coming through. There was 3 people here. I don't know who the third person was, but thank you also. And hopefully, if you have some other answers, you can comment down here, and you can subscribe and put on the notification bell because I'm usually going live on this channel. But yeah, thank you guys very much, and happy Black History Month and Free Palestine. No, I said end stream.